Okay, it's still Halloween Day, but I thought of something else I wanted to touch on real quickly before I get back to work. My husband of 31 years, the one who doesn't think I'm funny, I've realized that I can say anything I want to about him because he doesn't look at my little clips. He said there are too many of them, and I guess he doesn't have the time to look at them. So I'm thinking that means I can say anything I want to, but he's a good guy, and none of our friends will ever let me say anything to, like rag on him because he is such a good guy. At any rate, we've never had guns in our house, ever, and he was in the Marine Corps for 20 years before he retired from that and became a school teacher. But I know that, I do some things to get on his last raw nerve, like a lot of times, and he's so easygoing that nothing I do can really ruffle him, and he takes the laid-back approach, like he doesn't get riled about anything. And I have told him several times over the years, I know that you've been trained to kill with your bare hands, and please don't do that to me in my sleep because I'd rather you just leave or something. Leave a note like, I'm gone, I'm out of here. You did just one too many things that were crazy and got on my last raw nerve, but, don't kill me in my sleep. So anyway, speaking of Marine Corps, getting ready to celebrate the 238th anniversary of the United States Marine Corps, and I've been shooting some of these military birthday events. They're birthday balls is what they're called, and they're formal affairs, and people are all dressed up. The men and the women are in uniforms. They look sharp. And a lot of the female spouses, as opposed to active duty women Marines, they'll be in these beautiful gowns or dresses, and I just have a little bit of advice for these people. For the most part, everybody looks great, but I get the occasional request of, can you do anything to make me look thinner? Can you do anything about these wrinkles? But here's the classic. Here's the classic. And this is nothing against body types, because I have nothing against any kind of body types. Personally, I like kind of the Empire line style of clothing because it actually makes me look like, I have a little something, which I don't have much and never have. It also covers the midriff bulge that I find myself with at this age. And it doesn't matter how many sit-ups I do, because I'm not going to do any. And it doesn't matter how many crunches I do, because I'm not going to do those either. I mean, it is what it is, But I dress for comfort, by golly. And I want to tell some of these women who come to these Marine Corps birthday balls, one in particular the other night. And I know she doesn't know that I'm on Facebook. She's not a friend of mine. She's not going to look on YouTube. So I'm just going to say this. This really pretty woman came up, and she had on a just above the knee dress, and it was very pretty. It was very pretty. But I noticed when she was standing next to the man she was being photographed with, she kept looking down at her dress, to see if there were wrinkles, like right kind of down there, like right across below her abdomen. Yeah, there were wrinkles because the dress was probably just maybe one size too small. One size too small. No big deal, right? My advice would be, if you think that your dress might be a little snug, just either wear double spandex or buy a dress that's one size larger. It's okay. Nobody's going to care. It's not like one size is going to make a big difference. Nobody's going to be looking at the tag unless you leave that hanging out, which some people do, or those little laundry straps, those little loops. Whoever hangs their clothes on those little loops anyway? That's the first thing I do, is cut those off. I can't stand those things. They're always winging out and getting in a photograph. And the tags, they get itchy on my neck, so I usually cut those out too. But anyway, enough about me. So this woman is standing there, and I show her photograph on my camera because she's very concerned that it might not be right. Well, sure enough, there are some creases right there, you know. What am I supposed to do about it? Stand up straighter, I tell her, and I grab her hem and I pull it down a little bit, and her partner says, oh, thank you. That should do the trick. I'm like, yeah, okay. So I take her picture. She's still not overly pleased. Well, I can only do so much. So I tell her, you know what? I'll just Photoshop that. I'll just Photoshop that out. And I just saw a post that Beverly Coe put out this morning about Photoshopping. It's amazing what can be done, but I tell you, sometimes you just have to do what you got to do. So to keep this customer happy, I'm going to Photoshop the front of her dress right there where that big old crease is, big old wrinkles. But you know, later on, while they were having the ceremony and my husband and I were sitting out in the hall having our supper, because that's the only time we get to eat in between the customers, she went to the ladies' room, this woman. And as she walked by, going back into the venue where the event was being held, she walked by. I recognized her immediately because I thought, she's the one who wants that wrinkle Photoshop. I checked her out. You know what? She needn't have worried, because if anybody saw her from the back side, they wouldn't even be paying attention to the front. I've never seen so many little rolls and elastic lines and little creases and stuff like that. So, man, I hope she's not listening. But ladies, just a word of caution. If it feels a little snug in the dressing room, just try on one size larger, and I think you'll have a better evening. I really do. I think you'll have a better night.